The age of dinosaurs was full of terror. Dinosaurs lived in fear of massive crocodiles, shocking diseases. Marine monsters. Here are some of the scariest things that dinos had to deal with. The killer croc 95 million years ago. A crocodile of absolutely behemoth proportions ate a dinosaur. Scientists have now found the remains of that dinosaur inside the prehistoric crocodile stomach. This crocodile was a resident of Australia during the Cretaceous period. Most of the famous dinosaurs that people know about today lived during the Cretaceous. It was really the height of the dinosaur era: T-Rex, Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus. All the coolest dinosaurs hung out in the Cretaceous, and some of those dinosaurs wound up being eaten by far more ferocious river reptiles. The discovery of this fantastic beast happened near the Widden Formation in central western Queensland. Scientists came across the partially crushed remains of the crocodile in fossilized form, but what struck them as curious was the fact that there were smaller bones from a different animal mixed in with the crocodile's bones. Researchers had to gather all the remains and take them back to their lab. Soon they had answered. A team from the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum identified these smaller bones as being from a juvenile or neog. They don't know exactly what species ornithopod belonged to, only that it was herbivore. Ornithopods were an ancient group that included creatures like duck-billed dinosaurs. The prehistoric crocodile, though the freshwater monstrosity, was a truly devious predator. Scientists called it Conractochus saurotonus, and in English the name translates to the broken dinosaur killer. This particular specimen was over 8 feet long. Killer crocodile would have been able to grow far larger, and while scientists say the amazing crocodile likely didn't specialize specifically in eating dinosaurs, it was an opportunistic feeder. It wouldn't have passed up a chance to feast on a dinosaur trying to take a drink out of its river. Thanks so much for watching and supporting this channel. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe and join the family. There was once a serpent so big and so dangerous that dinosaurs feared it like the plague. The serpent is called Son Indicus, and it had a hunger for dino eggs. Snakes have been around a lot longer than you might believe. For 100 million years, snakes have slithered across the world, feasting on unsuspecting victims. Lived 67 million years ago, and the very first specimen was discovered in 1984. The fossilized snake was found with its coils spooled around 3 preserved dinosaur eggs. There was no mistaking what the snake was doing when it died. Its body perfectly encircled a crushed egg with its head poised to grab another one. Clearly, the snake infiltrated the dinosaur's nest and started eating its eggs, but before the snake could finish its meal, something happened and the whole scene was buried under sediment. Which dinosaur do you think was unfortunate enough to have its eggs stolen by a voracious snake? I'll give you a hint: it was big and vegetarian. Scientists inspected the preserved eggs and soon identified them as belonging to sauropod dinosaurs. Sauropods were the biggest land animals that ever lived, and the most famous sauropod was Titanosaur. It's not clear exactly which species laid these eggs, though it may have been either Isa auris or Genessa, adults of which could grow to around 75 feet in length. They were also covered in bony armor that protected them from predators. The Saras were invulnerable to snakes as adults. Their eggs and new hatchlings certainly weren't, even though Son J. Indicus was only about 10 feet long. It managed to eat dinosaurs by getting them while they were very young, what took down the T-Rex. There was once a dinosaur so ferocious and so ruthless that even tyrannosaurs were afraid of it. This dinosaur was so brutal that it stopped the mighty T-Rex from reaching its potential by bullying its ancestors for millions of years. This is all according to a study surrounding the recent discovery of a truly giant predator. For the second time in North America, paleontologists discovered the bones of a Carod dinosa. Carod dinosaur was a family of dinosaurs who were bigger than life, true giants who didn't have to bear anything. Amazingly, the new species found in North America is totally unique. Its bones were found with help from paleontologist Lindsay Zanna at North Carolina State University from a random eroding hillside of dirt in Utah. Lindsay discovered the preserved skeleton of Cetes Mickey Rorum. Mickey Rorum lived 98 million years before today, and in comparison, T-Rex lived 65 million years ago. The two dinosaurs never met yet. S. Rorum had a significant impact on the TYD lizard's later existence. Researchers say that S. Mickey Rorum was so big and so unstoppable that it hunted early tyrannosaurs relentlessly. At the time, the T-Rex's early ancestors were significantly smaller. Many of them were only the size of dogs, but they were still dinosaurs. Early tyrannosaurs, like monkeys before they evolved into humans, tyrannosaurs didn't evolve to become big until C's Mickey Rum went extinct. It kept eating them for millions of years, significantly slowing their development. Wrath of the insect, forget everything. The dinosaurs. There is now evidence to suggest that instead of an asteroid, it may have been a devastating insect army that wiped out all the dinos. Don't get it wrong. An asteroid was definitely involved. Scientists know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was an asteroid impact 66 million years ago, but that may not have been the only thing at play. Experts are now theorizing that an important contributor to the ultimate demise of dinosaurs was a rise in the insect population. New evidence has shown that as insects evolved, dinosaurs came under siege by their buzzing wings. As dinosaurs struggled to survive the asteroid impact event, rampaging insects were killing off survivors by infecting them with diseases. Dinosaurs hated insects even more than humans do today. There is one big problem with the theory of extinction by sudden impact. Professor George Power Jr. from Oregon State University said dinosaurs declined over millions of years. They didn't all die at once. The time frame, according to George, is inconsistent with the effects of an asteroid impact. The asteroid didn't help, but it wasn't the nail in the dinosaur coffin. Around the same time that the asteroid hit the planet, insects started to thrive. Scientists have found examples of biting insects from the late Cretaceous preserved in amber. Some of these insects contain the pathogen that causes Lamania, a disease that's still around that can affect reptiles and humans. Other biting insects were found to cause malaria, another disease that affects lizards and humans, and in dinosaur feces scientists have found nematodes and protozoa. These are two things that would have caused dented. The very same affliction that caused so many pilgrims to die on the Oregon Trail in early America. To sum it all up, dinosaurs rightfully feared bugs. Studies have shown that they were plagued by ticks, leaf flies, and mites, so all these together spreading diseases could have wiped out entire populations of dinosaurs. Giant dolphin sea monster. Scientists have discovered a giant dolphin that helped to dinosaurs. It wasn't a particularly adorable creature like modern dolphins, it was more of a sea monster with an insatiable appetite that only dinos could satisfy. The scientific name for the newly discovered predator is Ceto sagus. In English, the name means lizard-eating ruler of the sea. It was somewhere around 28 feet long, prowling the oceans of Earth for 160 million years. Scientists think it ate creatures that were smaller than it and also creatures that were far bigger than it was. The dolphin monster had a giant head and massive, terrifying teeth. Most of its fossilized remains were discovered in Nevada in 2008, dating back to 244 million years ago. This formidable creature belonged to the family of dinosaurs. They were marine reptiles who started out as land creatures and then evolved into dolphin-like predators. Oddly enough, whales evolved the same way. Whales were initially land mammals, but there was something that drew them into the sea as they spent more and more time in the water. Their legs turned into flippers. It took a very long time, but that's how many of the largest and most frightening sea creatures evolved. How a giant dolphin could eat dinosaurs? There isn't any concrete proof that Eosaur actively hunted dinosaurs. However, they were apex predators in the ocean. They were the rulers of the seas and the coasts. Any large dinosaur silly enough to go for a swim would have ended up as lunch. It was large marine carnivores like this one that made land dinosaurs so scared of the water. The sneaky predator. There was once a very sneaky animal, kind of like a Pam, that killed dinosaurs and ate them, even in the world of the Cretaceous period. Mammals were formidable foes. Scientists discover the fossilized remains of the dinosaur Tcharis lugia tunis, preserved in its final moments of life. Researchers don't know how it happened, but somehow the dinosaur and its killer were preserved in the middle of their battle, part of the dinosaurs being ripped open by the jaws of the strange awesome the Pam's clawed foot is holding down the head of the squirming dinosaur. It's not a particularly shocking scene, as this played out every day in the prehistoric world. It was all part of the circle of life for dinosaurs. The thing that shocked scientists was that normally dinosaurs were on the winning ends of these battles. This was the first time that scientists discovered the awesome-like mammal eating a dinosaur bigger than itself. By learning about these above animals, we can conclude that life was not easy for huge animals like dinosaurs. They are also